Television. I'm Liza Fromer here with Devo Brown. Well, of course, summer is in full swing, and for a lot of us, that means it's time to create memories with friends and families, particularly after the restrictions of the pandemic. But if someone has social anxiety, being out and about can be like their worst nightmare. So here to talk to us about what social anxiety is and how you can start to conquer it is psychotherapist Roxanne Francis. Welcome to BT.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Let's start with what we've kind of been talking about throughout the morning, and to promo that you were being here is the difference between anxiety and social anxiety. How do we differ?
Yeah, so social anxiety really is just a form of anxiety, right? People who are anxious get really nervous and they really start to worry about what could happen in the future. Social anxiety is the anxiety that you feel specifically around social situations. Going to hang out with people, going to a new place, meeting people for the first time, going to parties, that kind of thing.
How do you know, lots of people might just be nervous before going to an event.
Yeah.
When does that cross into social anxiety? Are there symptoms around it that you should be looking for?
Yes. So, as you mentioned, lots of people get nervous around things, and you might get a little bit of tummy flutter or your heart might pound a little bit, right? But for people with social anxiety, there are significant symptoms, like their voice gets really trembly, their feet feel wobbly, or hands get sweaty, they feel like they may even pass out, they start to feel lightheaded, really nauseous. Those kinds of symptoms are some of the things to look out for.
On this, and we have this board up kind of giving all these symptoms and examples. We're talking about associated thoughts. What are those? And can you give us more examples of that?
Yeah, so that's really just the thoughts that come along with the symptoms when you're thinking about going into a social situation. So those are thoughts like, I'm gonna mess up. No one's gonna like me. I'm gonna trip and fall and everyone's gonna laugh. I'm gonna meet new people and I won't know what to say and everyone is gonna think I'm not smart, right? Those are the thoughts that are associated with the anxious feelings and symptoms that you get, and you really need to pay attention to the thoughts that you're having.
It's like catastrophizing.
Exactly.
How everything's going to go exactly wrong.
Exactly.
So are there, I've heard of different things, breathing techniques, tapping, like is there something you can do in that moment? Let's say you're walking into the room and all of a sudden you're feeling it.
Yep. I tell people all the time, quick ways to kind of ground yourself or bring yourself back to center. There are things called 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So 5 things you can see, 4 things you can hear, 3 things you can touch, 2 things you can smell, and 1 thing that maybe you can taste in the back of your throat, right? So to really get you to focus and not catastrophize. I tell people sometimes try to spell your last name backwards, right? Just things that will bring you back to where you are in center so that you're not running away with the catastrophizing thoughts.
How do you... I'm just thinking about, you're mentioning all these things, and I'm thinking about friends of mine and kind of how they are in social situations or what they've said to me. How do you maybe even approach that with a loved one that might not even realize that's what it is that's happening? They're just like, oh, I don't want to go out. I don't want to do this. And they're not really understanding why they don't want to.
Right. So one of the things we have to look at is what's really causing it, right? And that's something that you can unpack with a therapist. But as a friend, you can say, I've noticed for the past 10 times we've wanted to go out, you've said no. Have you noticed a pattern? Is there something going on there? What is it like when we have to go out the door? Because if you're not careful, if you continue to say no, you can wind up with something like agoraphobia where you're afraid to leave your house, right? So really pay attention to the things that your loved ones are dealing with and really have some gentle conversation with them around that and how they can get some help.
We're almost out of time, but at what point would you say that you need to move from trying to handle it yourself to therapy, a professional like yourself, meds perhaps?
Yeah.
When do you get to that point?
When it starts to impact your functioning.
Okay.
When you're having difficulty leaving your home to go to work. When you're having difficulty going to important events, serious appointments. When you're struggling to connect with other people. When your world is getting more and more insular, smaller and smaller, and you're spending more and more time on your own by yourself, refusing to leave, then it's time to find help.
It's a lot of great information here. Thank you
Really
so
is.
much,
Thank
Roxanne.
you.
It is so good. If people want more information, they can go to francispsychotherapy.com. This is great. And, we're talking about people cutting back on summer plans due to inflation, but this is a reason that some people have been cutting back on their summer plans as well. But we want them to be able to get out there, and you gave some great advice for that. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.